we join Peter in Atlanta. Welcome to Atlanta. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, it's the home of the largest aquarium in the world. It covers over 20 acres. It's the Georgia Aquarium. So today, you get to join me inside of the aquarium as we study, explore, and admire one of the most unique creatures in the world today, the whale shark. You guys, there's a lot of misconceptions about sharks. There's a lot of rumor, and there's a lot of fear that circulates around these animals. But I'm here to tell you that most of that's a myth. Most of it's not even close to accurate. So today, we're going to join each other, work together, underwater, in the shark tank. We'll study these magnificent creatures together. And I gotta tell you before we begin, I'm not even a little bit scared. Not even a touch. And the reason why? I've got a chance to do something today that very few people in our country have ever experienced. To dive with the whale sharks, and better than that, to share my experience with all of you. So thanks again for joining me, and hey, let's go jump in.
Good morning, everybody. How are you guys? I'm so excited to be joined by so many of my good friends today, and Miss Mashana, it's great to have you with me, my friends at Hilton. Miss Tinker up at Gross Isle, you guys, fantastic to be working with you guys again in East Rochester, not to ever be forgotten or overlooked. Loving that you guys are down the block from us. And, yep, you joined me here live, and my friends, this is it. It's magnificence in one spot. You just joined me live at the Georgia Aquarium, and you are in the world's largest aquarium with me right now. You guys need to know something. I am 30 feet down, and I am sitting comfortably at the bottom of a 6.3 million gallon aquarium, and it is home to the only 4 whale sharks here housed within the aquarium at the Georgia Aquarium. And I want to start off by showing you our featured guests for the day as they're going to come around. Look at the size of these guys. This right here, that's Toroko. Oh, and the bigger whale shark in the back view there, that's the largest one in the aquarium. That's Alice. Oh, I'm sorry, that's Trixie. You get to meet our friends, and every single whale shark has its own distinct, well, let's put it this way, it's like you guys with your thumbprint. Every whale shark has its own identifying marks. So right now, as Alice comes over, you'll be able to see her. Wait, let's find out in a minute. I'll tell you the marks as I see them. You guys, that is, oh, that's Alice. You guys see the black dots on her belly? Alice has some black marks underneath her belly. And that's how you know that that's her. And the other large whale shark in here today is there's another one by the name of Trixie, and her belly is bright, bright white, just like the milk from the cereal. So if you've ever enjoyed Trix cereal, you drink it with milk. That's the way her underbelly looks. And we've got another whale shark here, a male, and his name is Yushan. And Yushan, actually his name means the Jade Mountain. It's a beautiful name for a beautiful creature. Toroko is the other male, and he is named after the national park in Taiwan. And my friends, I should probably tell you, how do you get 4 whale sharks into an aquarium? These guys were caught in nets in Taiwan, and they were rescued good shark. They are a fish. They're the largest fish in the oceans today. But technically, they're considered a shark. And here's how you identify a shark, you guys. A fish will have one fin, one gill, and one gill plate. A shark will have multiple, typically rows of 3, and the shark's gills are vertical lines. And you're going to see lots of rays in here today. There's so many rays. They're so beautiful. The rays have horizontal gills, but typically they're underneath. So a shark has multiple vertical gills. And the other thing is this. A fish has a bony skeleton, and a shark has what's called a cartilaginous. It's cartilage. In fact, do something for me this morning. Grab your nose, you guys, and kind of the bridge of your nose, and kind of like squeeze it and move it around a little bit. That's cartilage. That's what the whole structure of a shark is made out of. And that's why sharks are able to move so beautifully, because they can twist and maneuver their entire body. Oh, there's almost too much to talk about in one day. But we started off identifying the difference between a shark and a fish, and a shark and a ray. And again, I couldn't think of a better way to begin. Oh, one other thing. Yeah, this is important. Sharks, you guys, no scales. A solid membrane, a solid skin, and I gotta tell you, it's kind of like, how does it feel like? That's one of the things that everyone wants to know. What does a ray or a shark skin feel like? It kind of feels like getting a leather belt kind of wet. If you've ever gotten a leather jacket kind of wet. It's smooth. It's not rough. It's very smooth. And it's kind of slippery. And it's part of the way they're able to move through the water so effectively, you guys. So, hey, Commander Robson, I know we've got all kinds. Apparently there's a very big fish behind me. Oh, that's called a grouper. Yeah, those are the big bad boys. And I've got some helpers today. That right there is Chris. And then over here on the other side of me is another diver. His name is Devin. Oh, we call him Duck. Yeah, give the big wave. Oh, you guys. These guys are here in order to make sure that I'm safe. Now, you gotta understand something. I am not worried about being bitten by a shark. That is just silly because it doesn't happen. But those big grouper behind me, I'm basically in their neighborhood. And if you had a new kid that moved in the block next to you, wouldn't you want to go over and find out who they are? Maybe even ring the doorbell? Well, that's what the big grouper are doing. They're coming around and going like, hey, who are you? And what are you doing in our pool? Well, our aquarium, our ocean. I'm the guest, so they're coming to check me out. And Chris and Duck are here just to make sure more than me ever being concerned about safety. They're here to make sure that they stay safe, because the things that I'm wearing could actually bump into them and injure them, or they can get caught up in these ropes that we're using to talk to you guys. And the last thing we want is for us to injure any of these animals, so that's why Chris and Duck are here to keep an eye on me. Hey, Commander Rob, how's it sound on your end this morning?
Well, I gotta say, Mr. Robson, we are absolutely fascinated, and I know, like myself, I have a million questions on the top of my head, but I think we should go to our friends up there in Quebec, Canada, and find out if they have a question that they would like to ask you. And so, school number 1 out there at Grosse Isle and Entry Island, we're going to ask if you have a question prepared. Now go ahead and unmute your microphone, and let's share that with Peter. And while they're doing that, if we could have our friends from Hilton stand by on deck, because you are next. So let's take it away with our friends from Grosse Isle. If you guys have a question, please share it now.
Oh, Grosse Isle, bonjour, mon ami. Well, that's all the French I know. Oh, hi guys, how are you? Thanks so much for joining me. I had a great time talking to you about our shipwreck program. So, tell me, Miss Haker, what kind of questions did your class come up with today? And who am I going to be speaking to?
Sean has the first question.
Oh, good morning, Sean. How are you? Sean, are you the young man that had that harpoon gun from your class?
Yeah, that was Andrew.